Hi, this is Craig Lane with Health Alchemy, and I'm sitting in one of my cravings, which is to be in nature. If you look around me here, like the camera can follow me a little bit, you'll see behind me here is nature. And the sun's back there behind the trees. And so how is it that we identify a true craving versus something that is maybe coming up from the bad microbes that live in our gut versus a projection someone else gave us, or something we read in a book and we think we should do it? So the first thing to look at, if you're like, we're going to stick to maybe a food craving. So if you've eaten less than 3 hours ago, then any craving you have is not a good sign. If you're up late at night and you're craving food, that's also not a good sign, because the best time to eat is about 6 or 7 a.m. until about 2 p.m. The worst time to eat is a big dinner, because you're laying in bed and that food may not be digested all the way. And then I like to say, you're going to rot. The food's going to turn to rot. It's not going to turn into energy and new tissue. And then when we have rot, we encourage bad microbes to eat us, because that's what bad microbes do, is they eat waste. And if you watch mold and fungus and yeast and all that, what do you think it's doing? It's eating rotting matter. So to identify a true craving then is there's no emotional charge with it whatsoever. None. It's like discernment. Discernment would be, you see Craig pointing his finger at the screen. That would be just a fact, right? And facts don't have emotionality behind them. And if they do, then you're kind of in trouble. So a true craving, it just arises out of nothingness. Like, I remember the first time this happened to me, I was probably in my late 30s, and I remember I wanted kale, salmon, and brown rice with a little butter. And I was sitting there going, holy smokes, this really works. Because I used to crave Snickers bars and Taco Bell and McDonald's and fast food and candy bars and Cheetos and Chef Boyardee. And I mean, laugh out loud, those of us who are 60 remember the slick marketing campaigns of like Oscar Mayer Wieners and Ballpark Franks and all that. So a true craving then, there's certain physicality behind it. Like if you're craving food between the morning and the early afternoon, that's great. And if you want to have a dinner, great, but make sure that when you identify that dinner craving, that it's, if it's really heavy and you want to keep overeating, then that's not a true craving. A true craving is you want to get up from that meal when you're full of energy. And you may not eat the whole thing. You may eat only half or a fourth of the portion, but that was a little bit of advice that I got, was get up from the meal when you're full of energy. And I got tired of the old half-hard, let's do eat till you're half full, eat till you're 3/4 full. And I call that the half-hard version of this, which is kind of stupid. Like, there's no way to understand what half full and 3/4 full is, especially in today's disassociated world. So a true craving then has a certain knowing behind it, but it's not it's not a grasping either. So a craving, like I said, I have a craving to go in the ocean every now and then, and I know the ocean's sort of calling me. So it could be as simple as just listen in yourself if there is any charge or tension around the decision, or really a strong grasping. Like if you have a craving and, of course, if you're craving what you think you really need and somebody takes it away from you, then you will have an emotional charge, right? Like, as a kid what you might want, but your parents aren't going to give it to you, then that would be a natural sort of, I'm craving something else and I might get a little emotionally charged, but hey, that's okay. Thank you very much.